Good morning, students, to the students of Standard 10. Today we are going to learn about Geography Chapter 1. We have in previous class, in previous videos, we have studied about the Political Science Chapter 1. Today we are going to learn about the Geography Chapter 1, Resources and Development. So student, I hope you will listen to the video carefully and try to follow the class. Geography chapter 1 is the resources and development. So first of all, we must know what is a resource. To know that, I have written the definition on the board. You can see in the board, resource, everything on the earth that is useful and necessary for man's existence on this earth is referred as a resource. Once again, I am repeating it. Everything on the earth that is useful and necessary for man's existence on this planet is referred to as a resource. In other words, everything or all the matter present on this earth that satisfies our need are called as resource. For example, on this earth we have land, soil, water, air, sunlight, plants, animals, minerals. These are all resources, and these are all useful for human beings in one or other ways. So these are all resources. You must know the definition and given you in your book, the first paragraph itself. We are moving quickly to the classification of resources. Students, I have written out the classification of resources on the board. You can see 4 classifications are given. Number 1, on the basis of origin, on the basis of accessibility, on the basis of ownership, and on the basis of development. In book also it is given the types of resources or the classification of resources. Coming to the classification of resources on the basis of its origin, how the resources are created, in what state the resources are created on the nature. So on the basis of its creation, on the basis of its origin, resources are 2 types. Biotic means living resources, abiotic means non-living resources. The things from the nature which have life, for example, animals, human beings, plants, and these are biotic resources of the nature. Second thing is abiotic resources. These are the non-living things of the nature. They do not have life. Example, soil, land, water, minerals. These are abiotic resources of the nature. Second is classification of resources on the basis of accessibility. Now this is also called as the classification of resources on the basis of its renewability. Now when I speak renewability, you understand it in better way. Renewable means the resource which are renewed or remade or created again. So they are renewable resources. So on the basis of renewability, the resources are as renewable and non-renewable. The resources which are created again and again and they will never finish, for example, water, air, sunlight, plants, these are renewed again and again. So we can use them. Once they finish, again they are created and they are renewable resources. But there are some resources which are once finished, they will not be created again. For example, minerals, they are non-renewable. Coal and petroleum, they are the best example which are going to finish very soon, and once they finish, they are not made, not created again. So they are non-renewable resources of the nature. Then coming to the classification of resources on the basis of its ownership. Yeah, students, when I say on the basis of ownership, means who owns the resources. We know that our earth is filled with the resources, but who owns these resources? On the basis of the classification on the basis of ownership, the resources are classified as individual resource. It is not possible for me to write everything on the board, but it is given in the book. On the basis of its ownership, the resources are classified as individual resource. Now individual resources are the resources which are belong to only one person, one individual. For example, buildings, farmlands, these are the individual resources owned by only one person's. Buildings, farmlands, these are individual resources. Number two, community resources. Community resources are the resources which are owned by a group of people or a community. For example, village pond, village well, burial ground, temples, churches, mosques, these are the community resources. Playground, park, these are owned by not only one person but all the people of the community living in one place. So that is called community resource. I hope you understood. Now on the basis of the ownership, the third number is the national resources. These are the resources belong to the nations. For example, in one way, all the resources are belong to nations or the government, but there are like parks, platforms, roads, and forest lands. These are all the resource belong to the nation. So they are called national resources. In the book it is given clearly, you can read all the examples. And then comes to the international resources. These are the resources not belong to one country, but these resources owned by or comes under more than one nation, one country. For example, the ocean resources, ocean water, oceans resources available in the oceans. We know that only few kilometers the resources of the oceans can be used by one country, only few kilometers, and beyond that kilometers that resource belongs to other country. So oceans and the resource available in the oceans come under the international resource. So these are the classification of resources. Next we are moving to the classification of resources on the basis of its development. In your book it is written at the status of development. The resources are also classified on the basis of its development. So on the basis of its development, you can see in your book it is classified as developed resources, potential resources, reserved resources, and stock resources. These are the classification of resources on the basis of its development. Once again I am repeating, on the basis of its development, the resources are classified as developed resources, potential resources, reserved resources, and the stock resources. Coming to the developed resources, these are the resources which are already developed and being utilized by human beings for a long period of time. For example, petroleum, coal, and many of the minerals which are being utilized by human beings, this for a long period of time, and they are called as the the developed resources. They are already developed, they are already being utilized. Second is the potential resources. These are the resources which are present on the earth and being utilized but not fully utilized. They are utilized in a limited way. For example, wind energy and solar energy. The Rajasthan and Gujarat have a lot of potential for wind and solar energy that can be utilized more and more to supply our energy needs, but they are not fully utilized. So they have much potential, much capacity, can be utilized more, but they are not utilized more. They are utilized very less, and therefore they are called the potential energy. Coming to the reserved resources, these are the resources which are reserved in the nature. They can be utilized for in the future. For example, tidal energy, hydel energy, wind energy. These are reserved. They technology are there. For example, tidal energy, hydel energy. Technologies are already developed, but they are not fully utilized. If they are fully utilized, all the problem of the energy need can be solved of the country, but they are reserved. In the coming days, they will be fully utilized with the existing technology, the technology which are already there. With that technology, these resources can be utilized in the future more and more. So they are reserved for the future. And then stock resources. Stock resources are the resource. We know that our earth is filled with resources. Ocean water, it says that ocean water has hundreds of minerals, 100 types of minerals. There are many resources, but due to lack of knowledge, due to lack of proper technology, human beings are not able to access them. Human beings are not able to extract them, and therefore they are stuck in the nature. Therefore, there are many this type of resources which are unknown to the people and not utilized, and they are called stock resources. So, hope you understood. These are the classification of resources. I gave you the definition of resources. I told you about the classification of resources. In the next video, in the next class, we will learn about the this resource and development, and then we will finish this chapter. I hope you understood. Read this chapter to understand more. If you read and see the videos together, you can understand the chapter very easily. It's an easy chapter, very easy to understand. Hope you will follow the guidelines given by us. That's all. Thank you.